Hi, Dr. Steve Day here from Systems and Outsourcing. One of the most common questions I get asked about outsourcing or working with virtual assistants is what should you actually outsource, especially if this is the first time you've ever worked with a virtual assistant and you're totally new to the idea of getting other people to help you do your work. I mean, if you're a typical business owner, you're probably doing everything in your business. So how do you know which bits to pick to actually give to somebody else to do? I think one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is that they see all this stuff on social media about what everyone else is doing, and you get attracted to the shiny pennies of all that stuff that you could be doing in your business to make it more successful. So maybe that's plowing into YouTube or Facebook ads. Maybe it's doing more social media stuff and getting stuff out there. Maybe it's creating wonderful videos, or whatever the stuff you're not doing right now. It's tempting to think that's what you should be outsourcing, so you can then do some of that stuff. However, that is the trap that I see lots of business owners fall into. It's a trap that I fell into back in the days when I started out using virtual assistants and outsourcing. And doing that and outsourcing stuff that you're not already doing simply adds to your existing workload, because you've got to come up with the ideas. You've got to delegate that work out. You've got to think, oh, what do I actually want doing? You've got to make a plan. You've got to get that person engaged, and they've got to know what the goal is. And all of that takes up quite a lot of time. And if you're like most people who are looking to outsource, you're probably already feeling a bit overwhelmed. I mean, that's the reason you're probably looking to get some help, is because you're already pretty busy. So thinking about all that new stuff that you could be doing is the wrong way to look at this. Of course, that's the end game. You want to get all of that stuff done as well. But first, you need to focus on you. You need to focus on freeing up your time, your headspace. So then you will have the opportunity to think about what else you could be doing to grow your business. So figuring out what you need to outsource first is totally personal to you. If you look onto Facebook or whatever, you'll get loads of people saying, oh yeah, this is all the stuff that I get done by my virtual assistant, and give you a long list of stuff. I've done this before and posted a list of stuff, but I always put this caveat: don't just pick stuff on the list. Do what I'm about to tell you to make sure that the stuff that you are going to outsource first will make the biggest impact on you and your business. The biggest impact in terms of freeing your time, freeing your headspace, so then you can focus on your highest income generating tasks, on planning the next big outsourcing project you're going to do, and all that other stuff that you really want to do. To do all that, you need time. And this simple fix will make sure that when you outsource stuff in the beginning, you are freeing up your time as quickly as possible. So there's a couple of benefits from doing it this way. First, you don't have to think. You're just going to follow this guide and you'll know exactly what to outsource next. Secondly, you don't have to create any new work. Everything you do in your initial outsourcing will help free up more of your time, and that is the goal. Then you can, as I said before, think about all the other stuff you wish you were doing. So it's really very simple. You need to think about everything you are doing right now. So start today. Write down every task you do for the whole day. By the side of the task, write down the time it took you to do it. I just use a spreadsheet to do this. You could use an app like Toggle to track your time. It doesn't really matter. The point is, you just need to write down every single task you do and how long it took you. If you're doing the same task multiple times a day, then just add them all in, and at the end of the day, you're going to add them all up. If you're doing, say, checking email, then you've got business email, you've got personal email, maybe you've got another separate business. Keep them separated. Try to be really granular about how you actually write things down. You're going to end up with lots and lots of tasks on here. But what you're trying to do is find simple things you can actually get rid of really, really quickly. And to do that, you need to be quite granular about when you're writing stuff down. So don't group things together. Like social media management is not a task. That's a project. You might have check Facebook comments, accept people into my membership group, get some friend requests, whatever it is. Those are the individual tasks. That's how granular you need to go with all this. It's a bit laborious doing it, and it may feel like this is just a waste of time, but it's the most valuable thing you will do. If you do that for a day, brilliant. Now you've got to keep going. One day's data isn't actually really what you need. You need at least a week, really, to get a good handle on how much time you are spending on your tasks. Then, when you get rid of a certain task, you'll know how much time you're going to save every single week. If you can do this for a month, to keep on doing this after you've started outsourcing, and keep on going for a few months, because The month will give you a much clearer picture about where you're really spending all your time throughout the whole month, and therefore what you should be outsourcing next. But also, as you start outsourcing stuff, new things will come and fill that void. It's not like suddenly you're going to be sat around doing nothing. Sadly, that's not the nature of business. You're going to find other stuff to fill that void. And so therefore, you keep on doing this, and that's how you know exactly what your next thing to outsource is. Right, so you've got this list now. You've noted everything down that you're doing. You know how long each task is taking you, and you're going to add up all of the same tasks. So I just use a spreadsheet and a pivot table to do this really quickly. So basically, every single task you've got on there, group them all together. At the end of a week or a month, you can see how long did that task take me in that given time period. Therefore, you know how much time it will save if you get someone else to do it for you. So those are your high time consuming tasks. So that's the first list you need. Next, just go through that list. So top to bottom, the things that take you the most amount of time first, go through that and then decide, okay, knowing what I know now, knowing what you know now, could I get somebody to do that by simply delegating a task to them and saying, can you do this for me? And maybe shooting a quick video. If you can, then it's an easy task to outsource. So what you're looking for is tasks that are taking you a long amount of time and they're easy to outsource. So nothing complex, nothing multi-step. Right now, you're trying to save time, not create work or problems for yourself. As you get better with outsourcing, as your skills develop, as you learn about creating systems and outsourcing and recording videos more effectively, then you can think about the more complex stuff. But right now, stick with the easy, go for that low-hanging fruit. You should get a list. Maybe you've got 4, 5, 6 items on there at the end, which are high time consuming tasks and easy to outsource. To pick the first one you're actually going to get someone to do, just decide which one do you hate doing most. Then get rid of that. When you're stuck doing stuff that you don't enjoy on a daily basis, it just drains you. It drags the living soul out of you. However, conversely, if you just do stuff that you really enjoy doing every day, then you don't get tired. Work doesn't feel like work anymore because you're just doing fun stuff. So get rid of the stuff you don't like, keep hold of the stuff you like, and make sure you're picking the most high time consuming tasks that are easy to outsource, and that's what you go with first. The results of doing this are if you can just get 1 hour a day of this high time consuming, easy stuff to outsource, just 1 hour a day of that stuff out. 1 hour a day is 5 hours a week, It's about 240 hours a year. That's like 6 weeks of your life back just from figuring out 1 hour of easy stuff to outsource. Then when you've got that hour back, you can start thinking about, okay, which are the next more complex things I can outsource? And as you develop your skills, you can then start outsourcing more and more of your business. At that point, when you've got some headspace, when you've got some time, you can start thinking about, okay, say for example, social media. I want to grow my social media presence. So how do I do that? So maybe you'll go on a course, get some great information. Maybe then give that information to your now established virtual assistant who you've developed a relationship with. You can give them that course. They can go away and do that. You can have a conversation about it and you can plan a more complex, larger outsourcing project. Or you can get someone in specifically for that because you've got the time to think about what they're going to do, to put a plan into place, to hire the right person, and then get them to help you with that. If you try and do this the other way around and do that first before you freed up some of your time, you'll just end up overwhelmed and create more and more work and stress for yourself. And you'll end up thinking that outsourcing doesn't work because you've not actually got the time to outsource properly, to engage with somebody. And at best, you'll just sack it all off. At worst, you'll never, ever go back to it. And you'll believe that you're the only one that can do the work in your company, or fall back into that one-man band trap that it's better to do everything yourself, it's cheaper to do everything yourself, and that is the absolute sure fast way to make sure your business never grows, never scales, and is probably destined to failure, as you will ultimately burn out as you just get sick and tired of doing the same stuff every day. So, quick recap, note down every single thing you do for the next week or ideally a month. Group together all the same tasks. Be quite granular when you're putting those things down. So make sure that you're not grouping tasks together. At the end of that period, add everything up. The highest time consuming tasks, those are the ones you're going to outsource first. Pick the easy ones. Pick the ones you hate. That is your task list of what you're going to get your first or your next virtual assistant to do for you.